What's up guys, Bua Davis here. Today I want to teach you how you can make 2D spaceship shooting mechanics in Unity very easily and very fast. And good thing is that you can take that mechanic and fit to every other character, not just the spaceship. Before we begin, if you like my content and want to see more videos like this, please like this one and subscribe to my channel. Now let's get started, and obviously first thing that we need is some kind of bullets. And I have prepared these assets, and I will leave links to it in the description down below so you can use it. It's just free asset. And the problem that it has, it just one sprite. As you see, it has some animations going on, and we can easily implement it in our game, for our game. And before it, we should make three sprites, three pieces out of this one, basically. So what we can do, we can select the sprite, and here in the inspector, you see the sprite mode is set to single. We should just change it to multiple, hit apply right here, and now we can take this and open the sprite editor, and basically we should slice it in three pieces, and we can scroll down here, and here we will change type from automatic to grid by cell size. I think 36 by 36 will be fine. Yes, indeed it's fine. Let's slice it, hit apply, and that's it. Now if you open it, you see we have three different pieces, and only thing that is left is to just drag it into our scene, and this window will pop up and Unity will ask you where you can save animations. I have created animation folder, but you can save it basically anywhere. Let's give it name, something like animation, and save. And that's it. We have now bullets. We can take this bullet and position it better. I think it's very small right now. Yes, it's this blue glowing dot right now. So I will change scaling to be 4 by 4 on the X and Y. Z, we don't care. And I think it will look better right now. If we don't like, we can always change it later. But first let's work on it and add some components. In order everything to work, it needs some physics components. And first component that we're gonna add is rigid body. So let's select our bullet, and in the inspector we click on the add component, and here in the search box we type for rigid body 2D. We need rigid body because we need to apply some forces to our bullets when we shoot. And I will change this gravity scale from 1 to 0 because I don't want my bullet to fall down. And also it needs some kind of collider to collide with other objects. So let's add component, and I think circle collider will work fine for our bullets. So let's type here circle collider 2D, and our collider is pretty big right now. So what we can do, we can click on this edit collider and just make it smaller basically to match our bullets better. Yes, I think it will do. Alright, our bullet is ready, and only thing that is left is to set is trigger, tick is trigger, because we will need to trigger some events from the script. And now we can make prefab from our bullet, and prefabs are just objects which can be used a lot of times, and prefabs gonna work just fine for shooting mechanics. So to make prefab, you just need to drag your object from the hierarchy to assets window, assets folder. We can also make separate folder for our prefabs. In the assets window, let's hit with the right mouse button, create folder. Let's name it prefabs. And in prefabs, I will drag this bullet. And as you see, it changed the icon, and it turned blue right now. It means we have prefab, and this is our prefab. Now, on the player, first thing that we need is to have some kind of point from where we're gonna create our bullets and from where we're gonna shoot it. And to do it, the easiest way will be to click on the player with the right mouse button and create empty game object, create empty, and let's name it fire position. And we should set this fire position, take this fire position and position it in front of our spaceship or in front of your character, or whatever you're doing. Just set it to in front of your character, or maybe you have gun, then you will set it to end of your gun. All right, we don't need these bullets in our hierarchy anymore, so let's delete it, and we are ready to go and start working on our script. But first, we need to create new C# script. If you don't know how to do it, in the assets window, empty space, you should click with the right mouse button, create C# script, and name it anything you want. I already prepared, as usual, for us empty scripts, and I named it Fireball personally. So you can name it Fireball as well if you want. And just make sure to drag the script into your player. I think I already did it, yes, but I will just remove it and show you how you can do it. You just take this script and drop it in here on the player. And let's double click now this Fireball script and let's start working on it. First thing that we need is some kind of variable. And the variables we need is public transform for our fire position. And we are using this transform type because we need to access this fire position's position. And second, we need reference for our prefab, bullet prefab. So public game object, and let's call it bullet simply. We don't need start in this script, so we can delete it. And now in the update, we're gonna say our logic. Basically, logic will be simple. If we are touching some key or some button, we're gonna instantiate some object. And I will set it to my left mouse click as a standard way. And to access the left mouse click, you just need to say if input dot get mouse button down, and in parentheses you take 0 because 0 is the number for the left mouse click, and here we should say instantiate. Now this instantiate just creates your game object, your prefab, into your scene. So in order everything to work fine, it needs some parameters. First, it needs what you are gonna instantiate. We want to instantiate our bullet prefab. So here we can say bullet. After it, we should say where we want to instantiate. We made this fire position exactly for that. So we can say fire position dot position, and then we should give it some rotation. So we can simply say fire position dot rotation. Very simple script. We can save it with the Control S or Command S if you are on Mac. And let's go back in Unity and see. First thing that we need to do, we need to assign some variables. So let's select our player and let's scroll down. We have fire position and bullet, empty slots. So for fire position, I will drag this one, fire position here. And for the bullet, we need to assign our bullet prefab there. So I will drag this bullet prefab right here. And now if we hit play, you will see that we can instantiate, we can create our bullets when we hit with our mouse. As you see, we are able to create, but we are not able to shoot just yet. So in order to shoot, let's create new C# script and let's start working on there. So again, create C# script. I named it projectile. You can name it anything you want, but we should assign this projectile into our bullet prefab. So let's select our bullet prefab, and here we can say click on the add component, and in the search box we will type name of our script. In my case it's projectile, so projectile, and it will add script right here. And now I can double click my script and it will open in Visual Studio. And let's start working on it. First of all, we need some kind of speed. So I will say public float and let's name it bullet speed. And let's then create some kind reference to our rigid body. So rigid body 2D, and let's name it RB. In start, we will get our reference to work correctly. So RB equals get component as usual. Component name is rigid body 2D don't forget parentheses and semicolon. Now we are able to use this RB, and it will mean that we are using rigid body. And here in start also we can say that we want our speed, so our velocity, RB dot velocity, to be equal to transform time transform dot right, to have some direction on the right times our bullet speed. And that's it, what we need in start. And we can save this script, and you will see now that if we go back in Unity, now we are able to shoot, but it's not enough. We will have to fix some problems still. But first let's select our bullet prefab, scroll down, and we should give some speed, and I think let's give it 50, and let's see how it looks. Let's see if we are able to shoot now. Alright, here is my, and exactly we are able to shoot, but nothing is happening. As you see, when we hit our enemies, they are not dying or something like that. And let's start working on it. First let's select our enemies, and I don't know, I have this enemy prefab right here, and I will do everything right here. And for the enemy, you should create another script if you don't have, and assign to your enemy. I already have this script for my enemy with the name of obstacle right here, and I will open that script. And if you don't have any script attached to your enemy, just create one and attach it to your enemy. And here you should create this method on trigger enter 2D. I already have this method created. Just type on trigger enter 2D, hit enter, and Unity will auto compile this line. And here we will say that if I will say else if here, but you should say if, because you don't have this if statement just yet and you don't need it basically. And else if, you will say if collision dot tag double equals, and here we will say bullet with a capital letter B. We can say destroy this game object. Now what we did, we will use tag system, and we will assign tag with the name of bullet to our bullet prefab, so that when our bullet will touch our enemy, he will be destroyed. Very simple method on trigger enter 2D. So let's open our game. Let's go back. Let's save our script. And the thing that we also need to do in your enemy, you should have some kind of collider. As you see, I have the circle collider, and don't forget to tick is trigger, because we are using this on trigger enter method, and we should trigger the collision. And now we should create bullet tag, as I said. So let's open our bullet prefab, and here you will see this tag and layer system. They are just categories, and we can assign different categories to other game objects. So let's create tag. We can scroll down, hit on add tag, click on the plus sign, and here we will say bullet with a capital letter B as well. So let's select our bullet one more time, and in tag let's assign this bullet tag. Now our bullet has the tag of bullet, and since we have this script, when our bullet touches our enemy, he will be destroyed. So let's start working, and let's start playing and see if everything works. Alright, we have our, and as you see, when we hit our enemies, they are destroyed. But we also have some problems, yes. As you see, our bullets are just created, and they are not dilating by themselves, which will be bad for our performance in the long term when we play this game for a few minutes. We should delete these bullet prefabs from our scene because we don't need them anymore. So let's open our projectile script one more time. And what we need to do? Well, we can use this onTriggerEnter method right here. OnTriggerEnter 2D. And here we can say that we simply want to destroy game object. And what it does when we collide with something, in this case with our enemy, our bullet will be destroyed this time. And also we need to destroy our bullet even when we miss our bullet. So in this start, what we can do is to say here destroy game object, and we can give some amount of seconds, for example 3 seconds, 3F, and even when we miss our bullet after 3 seconds, it will be delayed. This way our performance will be fine and bullets will be destroyed. And let's save this script and let's test if everything is fine. Let's start working and let's see. And as you see, when we kill our enemy, our bullet is destroyed with it. And even when we miss our bullet, he will be destroyed after 3 seconds. And that's the way to go. And that's it. Very simple method to create the